Don't know about board games, but I know heaps about home services is what Echo is all about. And we've got the Chief Executive in the studio today. Welcome, Phil. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Phil, tell us a little bit about what Echo is all about.
Okay. Echo is a not-for-profit organisation. Started off in about 1982. And basically what happened was a group of volunteers figured that there are a lot of older people living in the city of Bayswater. Typical kind of older suburb, large houses, large blocks. But as people got older, they struggled to maintain their blocks. So what they decided to do was give older people in the community a hand by doing the gardening for them, which helped them to stay at home. Echo really has a strong volunteering culture, even since those days, over 35 years ago now. But now Echo is a service provider. We're not huge. We're basically located in the city of Bayswater and a bit in Stirling. We provide in-home supports to help people stay at home. So that's sort of gardening, house cleaning, going to the shops, transport.
Cooking as well?
Yeah, we help people learn how to cook. We help them with menu planning. We take them to the shops if they can't go to buy the ingredients. We help them cook at home. But really what we're all about is just helping people to stay at home that are struggling. Most everybody, my mum, I talk about my mum a lot at work, but my mum was 91. She lived in the same house for 85 years. She didn't want to go anywhere. She knew exactly what she wanted. And the clients that we have really know what they want. They want to stay at home, so we're there to help them to do that.
So tell me, you talk about your resources being in Bayswater and Stirling. If someone, say for example, lives in a different suburb that's not part of that zone, are you not able to help them? Say I live in Fremantle and I need some home help. Can you refer them to other people, or can you maybe look after those people as well?
Potentially we could do both.
Okay.
There's been changes under the aged care legislation, and under the Commonwealth system, which is aged home care packages, people can actually choose their service provider.
Yes, and it's a lot easier than what people think. Because years ago, if you used, say for example, Silver Chain, people thought they were pretty much stuck with it. It was a really hard thing to get out of it.
Yeah.
A lot of paperwork, having them come over and doing another examination, another chat. Well, now it's been made a lot easier, hasn't it? You can switch providers.
Yeah, it's basically the introduction of what's called consumer-directed care in aged care. Now, WA has effectively two different systems. One is the HAC program, Home Community Care, and one is the federal system and a package system. Under the package system, you can choose. You can take your money, go to another service provider.
So if you're using, say, one company and you just don't like them, or they just don't gel with you or your parents, you can say to your parents, look, Mum, Dad, we can move it to another company and keep trying different people until you get what you need.
Yeah. And there's a certain degree of logistics about it as well. I mean, we're based in Bayswater, so if somebody in Fremantle wanted our service, logistically it might be difficult to do that.
Yep.
But we know a lot of people in the industry. We know who's out there. We can refer people on. And so there's a lot more flexibility under the package system, which is where really I think aged care is heading in Australia. It's all about individual budgets. People can spend money on what they want within reason. Which really empowers people to decide what it is that they want and how they want it and who gives it.
So talking about empowerment, what makes you guys different to the other people that are out there?
It's really all about my mum. I mean, I've mentioned my mum in the past, and I make no apology for that.
I like your thinking on this.
My mum was 91 when she died. Now, I'll give you a very quick story. I'll cut it down. But basically, I was in Wales. Her answering the phone in Swansea was difficult. Could never get hold of her. Went into a shop in town, got a loud phone, got a show bag saying, this is what we can help you with. Took it back to my mum, give her the phone. Mum loved the phone, great. Give her the show bag. Oh, you know, people in town can help you with these things. Pick up the show bag, put it in the bin. That's for old deaf people. My mum was 90. She was no old deaf person. She was a real person with her own story. She knew what she wanted. And she didn't need experts, save me from experts. She didn't need experts like me coming in to tell her. So what we do is we listen. It's all about my mum. If it's good enough for my mum, good enough for anybody's mum.
And that's the basic thing, isn't it? If your parents, or your mum or dad, or together, decide this is what they need, and if they're happy and comfortable with the service, then they're happy and comfortable and you can continue. If they don't, I mean, I know my parents moved 3 times, I think we did, and at that time the new program had just about kicked in, but it still took a lot of paperwork, new assessments again. Now, we talk about the budget. I know we're running out of time, but they do it differently now. There's a different system, isn't it? The budget, like you said, it's one-on-one.
Yep.
You have your own budget?
Under the federal system, and I am talking about 2 separate systems, although HAC, the Home and Community Care, will move to the federal system in 2018, and that will, I'm sure, move to a consumer-directed care model. But basically, you're assessed by ACAT as being on a level 1 to 4. Level 4 is a higher need, so it has a higher budget. Level 1, lower needs with a lower budget.
Correct.
But basically, you get that budget, it's yours. You then decide, do I need home cleaning this week, or am I prepared to trade that for something else within the limits of the budget? The service provider still holds the budget, but it's your money. And if you decide to move, like if you come to Echo from somewhere else, and I really hope you do, but if you come to Echo, then your money comes with you. But if you leave Echo, and I really hope you don't, but if you leave from Echo, your money goes with you.
Look, to give you a live example, my father had a budget of, say, $2,000 a month, and with that budget, they were able to have more cleaning, or they could choose to have more hours at home care, more showering. So you decide what you need at home. Echo put the plan in place within reason, and if it can work for you, it works for Echo, and you don't have to ever worry about money. There's very few times where there's a gap in payments, and that's a different story altogether. But if people, I know people out there saying, I didn't even know this service existed. Well, it does, and Echo is one of the people that can help you clear the road for this. If people want more information, you've got a website people can go to?
Yeah, just check our website, echocommunity.org.au. There's an introductory bit which is called Navigating the Home Care Maze.
Yep.
That tries to simplify exactly what can happen and what should happen. But bottom line is, if you come to Echo, you'll be my mum, because that's who we deliver services to.
And I'll be happy. Thank you very much, Phil Baker, for coming in, the CEO of Echo here in WA. They do an amazing job. And of course, if you're around Australia, there's these sort of providers everywhere. Look into it. Look into these community providers, and they'll give you more information. Here in WA, Echo do an amazing job. Limited resources, so please get in quick, get your assessments done, and they'll try and help you. Thank you very much, Phil.
Thanks for having me.
We need